boys and girls. Today we have just an extension of yesterday's lesson. First thing, you've seen these formulas before. This is from geometry, that's distance formula, and that's Pythagorean theorem. I'm only going to do a few because they really are repetitive and they just continue on and on. So the first thing, we take our two ordered pairs. It doesn't matter which one we call x1 and y1 and x2 and y2. We just want to be sure we plug them in the same order. So d equals the square root, and then take 10 minus 2 squared plus, and then 1 minus 5 squared. So d equals square root of, well, 8 squared is 64, negative 4 squared is 16, so d equals square root of 80. Now break this down so we can break it at 8 and a 10, so we got 3 2's and a 2 and a 5. So I have a pair of 2's, same rules as far as reducing radicals go. So I have 4 root 5, and you can also put that in the calculator and get a decimal. But anyway, so that's that one. Number 2, we're trying to find what x is, so I got Pythagorean theorem here, which is a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So I know c squared is 64. I don't know what a or b, I know one of them, so it doesn't matter what we call a or what we call b. So minus 9 equals x squared, so I get 55 equals x squared. Take the square root of both sides, and I get x is the square root of 55. If you want to, you can put that in the calculator and get a decimal. If not, just leave it alone. All right. Number 3, we're going backwards now in the distance formula. So we have 8 root 2 equals the square root of, and then I'm going to go in a different order this time, 6 minus a squared plus, and then be sure you do it the right way, negative 4 minus 4 squared. So we get 8 root 2 is equal to square root of 6 minus a all squared. And then negative 4 make negative 8, so plus 64. Now when we get here, we get kind of stuck because I got 6 minus a squared in parentheses underneath the square root, I'm at 64. So the first thing I need to do is square both sides. When we square both sides, we're going to square 8 and we square this, so this cancels out. So I get 64 times 2 equals, and then my square root goes away and my squared goes away for these. So this part cancels out, but I still have the squared under there. So I get 128, then I'm going to subtract 64. So I get 64 is equal to 6 minus a all squared. Then I square root both sides, and I get 8. And remember, when you take the square root of something, you get plus or minus equals 6 minus a. Alright, so then I'm almost there. Subtract 6. So I get negative 6 plus or minus 8 equals negative a. And then the last thing is I don't want negative a, so I'm going to get answers. I'm just going to change the sign. So negative 6 plus 8 is 2. And that's negative a. Negative 6 minus 8, that's negative 14. And that's negative a. But remember, I don't want negatives, so my answers are going to be 2 and 14. Okay, that was a tough problem. Let's see. Number 4 works the same way. Don't need to do that one. Number 5, when you have the perimeter of a square being 28, you know that each side is 7. So then if you want to find the diagonal, you know this is a right angle, so you can do Pythagorean theorem. 7 squared plus 7 squared equals 4, equals, we don't know, c squared. Sorry to get ahead of myself. 49 and 49 make 98, so I'm going to take the square root of 98. That's going to be the same thing as 2 times 7 times 7, so my answer is 7 root 2. And that's reducing radicals. Go watch the YouTube video if you don't know what's going on. Next one, let's go to the back. A couple more Pythagorean theorem problems. Number 6 and 7 were the same way. It's just about reading. I'm just going to set it up for you. 26-foot long ladder, so 26 feet there. It reaches 24 feet up in the air like that. And I want to figure out what that is. Same thing for number 7. It says the leg is 17. The altitude is 8. We want to figure out what the entire base is. So whatever I get, I'm going to end up multiplying by 2. So I got 17 squared minus 8 squared. That equals this guy squared. So then I want to take the square root of that, whatever that number is. I think it's 225. So I take the square root of 225. That gives me 15. But 15 is not my answer because this is 15 and that's 15. So that means my total answer is 30. Okay. The last two problems are kind of wordy, 8 and 9. If you can do everything else, you'll be good as far as the test goes. All right. Good luck. See you later. Bye-bye.